So we've all been watching IEM Cologne, right? Well, if you have, you might have just seen that FaZe just pulled off what will probably be deemed as comeback of the year, and it was versus Team Liquid, who actually had a really good first half, very impressive. On the third map of Mirage, they were up 11-1 versus FaZe Clan, and then, well, let's just say FaZe made the playoffs, and I want to hop into how they pulled off this ridiculous comeback right after a quick word from our sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by SkinsMonkey. SkinsMonkey is a site where you can trade skins that you already have to get some skins that you might want. That way you can hop into your next game with some fresh new skins. All you have to do is log into the site through Steam, put in the skins that you don't want anymore, grab the skins that you do, and then click trade. Trades happen almost immediately, and any balance that you don't use in the trade will roll over for a trade that you might do in the future. Right now you can get a free $5 if you were to use code Austin on the site, and if you were to use my code, you would get an additional 5% on top of the 30% deposit bonus. So let's say if you deposit $100, that means you would get $135 if you use my code to deposit. So make sure you guys check out SkinsMonkey, and let's get right back into the video. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start from the exciting part, which is of course where they come back. Now the score is 11-1, and I don't really need to show you the T side to just pretty much tell you Liquid were dominating, and everything that they wanted to do, they could just get away with, and it almost continued here if it wasn't for this pistol round. And so what do we have? We have more of the same. This time I actually will cover a pistol round because I think that this can be interesting, because in a game like this, you need to win the pistol round. You have no choice. So they're pulling out all the stops. Now in this pistol round, what do we see? We have double dualies for Brokey and for Rops. Now Rops is hiding on top of the balcony here. If they were to come out A, he can also kill Palace as well as spin around and deal with Ramp. In the meantime, also we have Brokey's pair of dualies right here. So they have a nice little double set of dualies here. Could be a cool setup to try on your pugs. And then of course we have Rain, who's spotting towards top mid, and he also can get info and fall back and kind of bait them into the double dualie setup. And then of course we also have Karrigan doing the standard where he's the one that dropped the double dualies, and he's just playing retake. He's jump spotting, and once he sees people, he's going to fall back and hopefully bait them into Frozen, because Frozen's going to hide until they jump out. Pretty cool. I like that this is their all-in pistol. It makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of traps that they could fall into, and honestly I think it's a pretty good setup. So with that being said, we get exactly what I said. Karrigan throws this defensive self flash, which actually allows him to get an almost kill onto JKS. Frozen reveals himself, pops up to save his IGL, and now this is pretty much the kill that decides it. And it also is a kill that highlights why I don't like to talk about pistol round, because it doesn't really matter how tactically sound the strat is. You should quite frankly never have a duel where your Kinder's missing probably 10 bullets with the Glock onto Karrigan here, and Karrigan has no armor. Those kinds of kills are pretty rough. Pistols are random. If your Kinder had an AK all day of the week, he would be killing Karrigan here. But with that being said, it ends up in a 4-on-2, and Karrigan lives just long enough to see the pistol round victory, and that's fantastic. Now, you guys might have watched the podcast that I did with Thorin, Snake and Banter. I'll probably put a link in the description if you'd like to watch it, where I said I think Karrigan should retire. Now, the reason I said this isn't because I think Karrigan is a bad IGL by any means. It just means that statistically, if you look, he hadn't had the best performance, but I would love for him to prove me wrong. And you know, if we keep racking up results like this, then I would be very happy to see that. And everybody knows that I'm probably FaZe Clan's biggest fan, so I don't say this with any hate to Karrigan at all. I know that you might think that it's hard to tell someone to retire without sounding hateful, and I might agree with you, but with that being said, we got the full eco victory for FaZe. Let's get back on track here. For some reason on Mirage, whenever I flick through the demos, it always puts me in the sky if someone's dead, so sorry if that keeps happening while I'm clicking through. Now, I actually really like the way that FaZe play this CT side, barring this round. So this is actually, you know, back to normalcy. At the time when we were watching this live, Liquid had been dominating every single gun round that we had watched, and so we figured as soon as the random pistol round and then the full eco that follows is over, once they get back to guns, they should be destroying. And that's exactly actually what happened. So they're going to go for a nice A exec here. Now, the thing that's really unfortunate about this is that Rain is in a pretty good position. He gets double mollied. Now, one of the mollies for Liquid actually missed because they're supposed to molly on top of Belk and under Belk. Actually gives Rain a place to stand. But everything's actually going pretty well so far. They have successfully gotten 4 players over to the A site. Lots of spams going on, but I'm going to kind of highlight how this goes wrong pretty quickly. So first of all, Rain gets a kill while on the ladder because Twist is right next to him. That's fair game, and he's going to drop down. Now, Yakinder, knowing that Rain is under balcony, is going to not even risk peeking Rain and instead just full spams him, which is fair play. So Rain goes down. In the meantime, we have Brokey hiding in this little lurk smoke, but the problem is that Brokey's the opper. He's not normally here, so they're not really expecting him. That's why he's not going to be spammed. But Because a rotator could be coming in, this line specifically is something that gets spammed a lot. And that's exactly what's about to happen to poor Rops, who unfortunately is going to get fully spammed through the ticket here from Ultimate. The problem is that afterwards, you think that we're set up perfectly, because Rops just went down, and Brokey, he's hiding Firebox. Nothing can go wrong here because they shouldn't expect him. They killed who they thought was the rotator. They killed the A player. They don't know where the Opera is, but he could have just started a window. So Brokey's set up for greatness. So as soon as Yakinder peeks him here, he's about to peek him from the edge of the smoke. He ran here, Brokey knows. Well, that's where, unfortunately, Brokey's day will be ruined. Because JKS, the second Palace player, which by the way, it's crazy there's a second Palace player after Rain already killed one in this strat, steps out and ruins Brokey's day. And actually ruined my day too, because I was hoping to see FaZe make a little comeback, and this is obviously not what you want to see if that's going to happen. But I guess we continue on. 12-3. Wow. What do you call if you're Karrigan here? One of the greatest ITLs of all time. Well, I'm going to tell you what you're going to call. What you're going to call is an A stack, where you get a little bit of mid info. And you know what, Karrigan? No util. I got the 5-7. Guys, listen, I'm just going to keep it real. If they come B, probably going to lose. I'll try to get one, but we're probably just going to, retake is what I would say. We're going to retake, boys. It's fine. We're just gamble stacking A. If I die, we're going to retake. Okay. But I would believe in Karrigan to this day. Of course, anything Karrigan says, I'm going to listen, so that's what they do. Now, let's fast forward a little bit. Twist is going to call right into this A stack. So we have 4 on the map here. Again, we have a very similar setup as to what was happening the round before. Frozen this time instead of Rain is going to be on the ladder, kind of spotting, making sure nobody comes out. In the meantime, Rain is spotting mid, and Rops is here as well. Now, I love the setup that they're doing because Rain is making sure that nobody goes up cat, and also spotting towards like this bottom con area right here. And if anybody gets cheeky, decides to go under and boost window, well, isn't that what Rops is here for? Making sure that Rain didn't get timing, who was just looking con. You have to appreciate that. And then he goes and checks the window. Now, we have 4 people A, and let's just watch how it goes. So, they're coming out. Frozen's under balcony, gets absolutely destroyed. Remember, Rain just played their last round, so very unfortunate for Frozen. Gets dealt with. Now, Brokey's in the same spot that he was in last time, so, this, again, not getting cleared. There was no lurk smoke this time, so it looks a little bit different. So far, so good. The problem here, Brokey jumps up, somehow catches that kill on the Twist falling, but he gets immediately traded. We're on a 3 versus 3 now, and this is when you need a play. And this is exactly the kind of play that Robs would make. He walks through the smoke while Rain is spamming. Rain is spamming to, kind of draw some attention. Somehow, he actually dinks JKS in the meantime. Robs will finish him off and continues edging through the smoke here. I know you Zoomers think that word is funny, but he keeps edging through the smoke here, and he finds the kill onto Nap. An immediate trade from Ultimate, but it's still a 1-on-2. Now, this is winnable. I won't lie to you, but unfortunately for Ultimate, or fortunately if you're a FaZe fan, they give him a lot of room to breathe. Rain repositions towards Cat, which is such a good move in my opinion. He comes up here. I would never be expecting Rain to peek from Cat, and there you have it. There you have it. That's a 4th round. A very important gun round for FaZe to win. They got it back. They did it. They lost the 3rd round, the first gun round, and then they won the 4th back. But that's not enough because they still have to pull off this round here, which is going to be the beginning of a theme that you're going to see from FaZe. Also, if you watch the first half, which I didn't cover, the same thing happens is whenever the CTs is facing a low buy or a sus buy that doesn't have a lot of utility, well, they just go and brawl mid. So let's go have it here. Rain just threw some flashes from A over. Rops is going to find the first one onto Yakinder. Rops steps out, almost gets the second kill. Frozen will back him up instead, but he's done all he needs to do, and now Rops is just going to try to get away. He doesn't, but Brokey is spamming from the window, finds the trade onto Twist, and then it's a little bit more. Brokey jumps out window. Now they have full info that nobody's out mid. Fantastic stuff here. So it's a 4-on-2, by the way, a small detail there. A flash over to repeak in towards top mid, and everything is looking good. Rain's retake A. Brokey's pushing underpass. He also just cleared mid, so they don't think that he could be there. And it's just a 2-on-4, right? They have all the info. Gets a little scary here in a second. JKS and NAF, they are going to creep their way on up. Hold up. They're going to creep their way up Cat here. And eventually, they're going to find a little timing kill. Hold on. Onto, I think it's Rain who peeks here. And, yep, there it is. He gets a kill onto Rain. This is another round where Karrigan actually has massive impact. Now, they're in a lot of trouble. Karrigan knows how important his life is here, and look at what he's doing. He's just letting Frozen hold this cross, and this is so smart. And remember, Karrigan has a lurk smoke up right here. So the idea is, as soon as Frozen, well, when he was just here, but he backed up. As soon as Frozen takes contact, then that's when Karrigan can reveal himself. Remember, Broky's on the flank, and there's pretty much no way that they know that. So he doesn't need to make a play here. You know, Karrigan, he is a very smart player. Sometimes he mechanically struggles, but he is very smart, and he's always going to make the highest percent chance play, and that's exactly what's happening here. He lives as long as he can. Frozen decides he's too low to take the fight, so I respect that as well. And in turn, Karrigan realizes that since Frozen's not going to hold the cross, he needs to take a fight here, and that's exactly what he does. He shifts around, finds the kill on a JKS, and it's a 1-on-3, and that's going to be the round. Now, even though somehow I'm not really sure what Spidey sense was tingling in NAF, he predicts the exact timing of the apps link here. But he doesn't hit the shot, does he? That's another round for FaZe. Now we're playing versus a full eco. Twist calls the classic, hey guys, I'm going to smoke window or top mid, I don't remember, top mid, and then they're going to nade window. Nothing too crazy here. They all kind of just get dealt with. I'm going to skip this round. Next round, another gun round. It's going to get a little scary. This is the round where you're like, okay guys, look, they're making the comeback, maybe. But I'm not nervous yet. If they win this round, though, that's a different story. So Karrigan knows that they're a little bit nervous. Remember, Karrigan did play with Twist for so many years, and it's probably a little bit of a mind game, a little mental edge he has over Twist, because it's his first event calling. I think it is anyway. You can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. And he knows that Twist is going to get nervous. He's going to fall into the classic IGL tropes, which is that he's gonna get nervous when he's trying to close matches, or he doesn't know, he runs out of ideas on a T site. It's hard to close matches. Take it from someone like me. I've IGL'd plenty of times, and I've choked plenty of times because I don't know what to call to close the game, or I get a little in my head, and my players, their aim gets a little shaky because they're nervous too. It's hard to close games, especially when you're the underdog. And we're seeing that. So Karrigan here calls one of my favorite strats that FaZe has on the CT side of Mirage, which is just retake A. It's nothing crazy, but remember that nameplating plays a big part in what happens in Tier 1 Counter-Strike, and nameplating, in case you forgot, is keeping track of who plays where. For example, I know Karrigan is the B player. I know that Rain is the A player. I know that Rops and Frozen like to play Cat and Khan, and pretty much you can always expect to see them there. So if I ever killed, let's say, Rain at B, I would know that there's nobody A, or that sometimes it could be Brokey that's there, like in this round. Brokey's going to be opping there. The idea, it's a little hard on Mirage CT side because people are kind of playing with who plays where on this map a lot recently in the meta, which, by the way, we can maybe talk about sometime. But maybe on like Ancient, you would expect this to be a bigger deal. Like, oh, I just killed the A player, so there's somebody missing. Or the A player just died B, so the opper might be A. Does that kind of make sense? So they do that a lot. And all of this comes back to why Rain is in ladder room, because he's the A player. So they won't expect him here. If he gets a kill, they're going to know. But until he does get a kill, then it's a pretty good thing. So we get that really good setup here. I love this one. And, well, Twist, you could tell by the pace here. You could tell by how slow the round is. How slow the round is developing, that he's pretty nervous. They're going to go into an early B pop. Now, we are seeing mid control granted for Team Liquid. They get it, putting a little pressure here. In the meantime, the rest of the troops are in apps because they want to do a B pop. Like I said, maybe even a B split if they're allowed to, which it almost kind of looks like they will be. But the problem is that, remember, we have a player jiggling Cat. Now, if I'm Yakinda here, first of all, I'm not necessarily expecting a person in ladder, to be honest, because double Cat in this round would be insane, which is also why it's funny that they actually did it. But I'm going to be on high alert because I know that there was no way that he's not taking a fight there, right? There's just no way. He's baiting for someone. And he was. Rain is in ladder room. Gets probably the most important kill that Rain has gotten so far this game. And now, what do we see? We see Twist is in connector. The lurk is... We're so far away. It's effectively a 3-on-5 if they want to go B. I know Brokey's not there. I know Rain is technically trapped and Rops is slow. But my point is, Twist is not really a factor in this round. I say that, but he does get a kill on the Rain as soon as he comes out. But the pop is coming in. The pop is coming in. They're waiting. Twist is like, maybe you have time to come back. This is it. By the way, this is a really big tell over to Karrigan, who, by the way, he's been here so many times. Like, he's outplayed IGLs. The fact that nothing happens after that kill, and then they end up finishing B, this is going to tell Karrigan all he needs to know about the mental state of Twist. Like I said, he's a little in his head, isn't he? And you would expect this. You do expect this. I'm not going to lie. Let's look at the setup here. So they end up coming B. This is, they're faking like they could leave. They don't, because they don't have info of if they pushed A or not. So this round is kind of chalked. Karrigan going to be spotting. Again, same idea as pistol round, which is baiting for Frozen, and Rain eventually will come back up. Rops has got a fast rotate. We already talked about this. Let's keep going. Eventually the hit comes in, like I said. How many times did I say that? Karrigan just stays alive, baiting them into Frozen. Actually, Frozen does die to the molly, and it gets a little scary here for 1 second. This is all the pressure in the world onto Karrigan. 3-on-3, Twist died, but he killed Rain before he did. If Karrigan dies here, the game is over. And Karrigan has perfectly dodged them. Now, normally you would see somebody hide on the Ska Pillar. That doesn't happen here, because if he does, JKS would just kill him. I don't know why he's standing at his teammate's molly, but he would just kill him. And that's, you know, that's why he's doing that. Maybe he wants to catch him. But somehow, Karrigan knows exactly where to stand to stay away from all the danger. If Ultimate had stayed here for 1 second longer, just to make sure that that wasn't possible, instead of jumping out the window, well, he would have killed Karrigan. Game over. But unfortunately, he decides to not do that. Karrigan gets here, by the way, has shadow advantage. So he gets a clean kill, drops the bomb, has enough time to just kind of chill. Robs is rotated from the window, supports him. They know the last person's bench. They do right now, I think. I think they know. And then Karrigan, of course, will get the second one on the Behold. Big round from him. Huge round from him. If he could keep playing like that, he could play for 10 more years. That was fantastic. But there we see it. First time out. That's the round you don't want to lose if you're Team Liquid. That's the round, like I said at the beginning, when we first started breaking down the rounds, that's the round where now we're nervous. We're on another half buy. I'm going to skip this just because it's kind of boring to watch the half buys that just run mid and get farmed. We got another round here. This is a very, very important round. And again, you know, there's still a chance that maybe the spirits are fine on Liquid. They're like, yeah, but if we win this round, we'll be fine, you know, not really a big deal. Look at this. Kind of a little cheeky setup for you if you play Team CS. So Brokey's actually standing on top of this window smoke, which sometimes it just kind of happens. And in the meantime, Rops is spamming the top mid smoke very deliberately to reveal a hole right here where Brokey, who's also using the smoke mechanic, can see somebody if they're crossing. You're really not safe, even with 2 smokes. Welcome to Counter-Strike 2, right? Okay. So we get the mid default. FaZe is just kind of chilling. Eventually they end up in the most basic mid setup of all time, which is 1 cat, 1 window, who's smoked out. So 1 cat, 1 window, 1 under Balk, 1 B, and they're just gonna let Liquid make the next move here. Liquid can make the next move. Nothing really needs to happen here, and they're taking forever. Remember, like I said earlier, you kind of have a read on an IGL when you're playing against them, and this is one of those rounds where it's like, okay, man, why are they taking so long? Well, I'm telling you why. It's because they're nervous. And if we got access to the comms from the boys, I guarantee you that they keep saying they're nervous, they're shaking, they're nervous. You know, like just play slow. We're gonna win. You know it right here. Why are they taking so long? They're taking so long to just take mid. It's not like they're just being safe. They're being overly safe. Like, where is Yakinder doing the Yakinder special? Why isn't he just holding W somewhere? Because they don't want him to. And maybe even he is nervous. I mean, this is a big deal. They're about to qualify for Cologne playoffs. 1 more round, and they're playing on one of the greatest stages in Counter-Strike. All of Counter-Strike? Like, yeah, I would be nervous too. I'm not even going to lie. Okay. The hit eventually is going to come in, but they have the perfect setup again. So Rob's doing the same thing we talked about earlier, spotting for that window boost. Brokey's holding for connector exclusively, and Rain is just holding Palace. There is a bit of a gap for ramp here. There is a chance that somebody could walk out, but you'll see in a second that Rain will check that when the time comes. So first shot comes in for Brokey, misses it. Doesn't matter. Activates Rain to go for probably one of the stronger peeks into connector. He doesn't actually get the kill here either. But all of that combines for the perfect chance for Rops to actually walk through this jungle smoke. Because look, Twist is looking at Brokey and Rain. He's more focused on killing the players they know about. Rops walks right through, finds the first kill, finds the second, drops the bomb. 25 seconds, by the way. There's not a lot to happen here. Now Rain's going to go for the same peek. This time he catches Yakinder. Now we're going to see the beginning of Brokey stepping out, trying to do ultimate. It doesn't matter if Rain gets mollied. He got mollied. It doesn't matter. Look, there it is. Look at that. It's a complete shutdown. 5 alive for FaZe. What's happening? You're witnessing the greatest choke in all of Counter-Strike 2's history. And I'm not even saying that to be mean. You really are. They're taking all the time in the world. They can't even get a kill in the round. But it is also a lot, very deliberate. Very, very deliberate from FaZe. I mean, the IGL on FaZe is also very experienced. He's been there so many times, so many comebacks. He's even choked a couple of times himself. Shout out to the Boston 2018 Major. And here we have it. Another round where we're going to see something kind of, you know, whatever. They go for an A hit here on the low buy, and they're just kind of death matching. Rops is going to get his, and I mean, I'm not going to lie, there's not really that much to look at. I don't want to watch this, so we won't. Round over. Round number 10. Now this is another timeout. They're starting to really feel it. They're getting nervous, and they should. They're probably already nervous. If you had at this time asked to see somebody's hands here to see how they were shaking, they probably would have looked like this. And I'm not even trying to be mean. I just know, because dude, if you're playing FaZe Clan, the one thing that they're known for is insane comebacks. Their IGL has called so many insane comebacks. Rain has participated in so many insane comebacks. You just know it's coming. You know it's coming. And best part of this, they're playing with Twist, and Twist was a part of all those comebacks back in the day. He knows firsthand how it feels to have a crazy back against the wall comeback, and now he's on the receiving end of it. There's a lot of mental going in here. There is, and that's why you get to do pretty much whatever you want. Now we get Brokey and Rop's little combo here. They're just kind of getting mid info. Frozen's going to come play under balcony. By the way, what are we looking at here? Well, this is the first time in recorded history that I've ever seen Rain have an op in his hands, and it's at one of the most important rounds in the game as well. Now, I could tell you, if it wasn't Rain, why this is a good idea. It still holds, but it's just silly that he has it. The idea is, if he shoots, well, mostly they're going to expect that to be Rain, or sorry, Brokey, because now why on earth would Rain have the op? Look at all the other players. Rops, Karrigan, Frozen, all three of them known to pick up the op in their careers. Not Rain. So automatically, if I see that op shoot, I'm just going to think it's Brokey, and I'm going to think it's a different setup, which is why he has it. I don't even think he's expecting to get a kill. You know why I don't think he's expecting to get a kill? Because he has an M4 right next to him, and he has an M4 right next to him, so that way after he shoots, he can switch to his actual gun, and then start to do some stuff. And yeah, so again, look at this. Look at what Liquid's doing. You look at them. They're just sitting here. They're just sitting here holding for pushes that aren't going to come. FaZe, no. What? They're not going to push, man. They're not going to. You're a gun round. You haven't even proved that you can take mid. Brokey's posted. Rops knows what you're doing. We got Frozen on top of the balcony. Rain's got an op. You're not scaring us, man. That's pretty much it. Rain has an op. You're not scaring us. So everything eventually comes in. They're gonna make their way super slowly into an ace play here. Now, here it is, the best chance we've had. Frozen goes searching, not really sure why. He ends up getting punished for it. First opening kill for Liquid in a while. Now you're going to see the world-class play from Rops and Rain. The duo themselves, they're going to pull this off. Rain already switched off the op. He's going to shift into default here. And Rops is going to be holding from stairs. Now, the idea is they don't want to die. They want to live as long as they can. Obviously, nobody wants to die in-game or in real life, but sorry about that. Anyway, so they're trying to buy time for rotations, right? They need to just live. And in the meantime, Rops is in a pretty good spot. He knows that if anything goes wrong, he can pretty much kill the person splitting and also assist Rain. Now, Rain knows that, well, he's in a lot of trouble. So instead of just saying, you know what, let's go for a fight, let's see if I can get two. No, he just waits. He waits, and the reason he's waiting is because he's waiting for the flashes to come from Brokey. Look, and there it is, by the way. The flash is coming. He lives long enough for Brokey's utility. But instead of Rain peeking off of it, Rops does! Rops peeks off of it. I would have expected Rain to peek too, and Rops has, you know, he understands that as soon as he gets that first kill, he spins around and kills Twist. Now, off the back of this, now Rain wants to peek because they're looking at him. So here it comes. Another flash, by the way, just came in. Boom! Oh, I tapped out. Oh, no. I'm getting too into it. Boom! Finds another kill. Oh, my God. 4v2. And what's gone wrong? It's all on Yakinder, and Ultimate's on a mid-lurk with an op, by the way. That's hilarious. And here we have it. Rain gets a second. My God. Rops and Rain just played off of each other so well, and they play their lives, the importance of their life. They know that if they can live long enough, that they can get the flashes from their teammates, and they can peek with them. And Liquid just has not, they have not provided enough pressure to force those peaks early. So they don't. And there's 18 seconds, and Ultimate has to save. Okay, great. So it's all gone wrong. It really has just all gone wrong, hasn't it? So we get a very kind of shaky buy here for Liquid. It's full GG. They already know there's no chance that they could pull this back. Okay, I'm sorry, but seriously, think about it. They just lost 10 rounds in this half, not in a row, 8 in a row, 10 total in the half. And they have not had a single convincing run. They have not done a single thing that they want to do. All they've done is play passive. They're scared. They just are. And I'm not even just saying that. They just are. You could see it. You could feel it in the server. If you were FaZe, you would just know. You would just know that they were. So we get another similar setup as before. This time, Karrigan, of course, is going to be doubled up with Frozen. They're not putting any mid pressure. Look at the lack of like concern from FaZe. He just throws the bottom construct. Yeah, I'm not worried. You know, Frozen's just chilling. He peeks. You know, he doesn't care. It doesn't matter. They just made the craziest comeback. He just peeks. Could be bench. I'll kill him. It don't matter. Wow. So, final round comes in. Another very slow and painful round. Eventually, Rops, by the way, walks out of the bottom console, catches Twist. Now, the thing is that Twist is normally in apartments, so Rops actually gets a bad read here. He gets a bad read. First time I've seen this happen from him in a long time, and he just starts running through halls. He thinks that it's clear. And look, Karrigan and Frozen even are starting to run off, but that's when Naf reveals himself. So all of a sudden, Naf realizes that they had a bad read, so the timing is now. Naf knows that the timing is now. But the problem is that because everybody else is so slow, there is no timing, and so they have to just start walking. He just starts walking, and now look at them. They're just crawling up Cat. They're taking so long to do anything. And now you just slow it down. Eventually, they do still go through with the hit. Now, all the pressure is on Karrigan yet again. And by the way, Ultimate's using the saved op to kind of wait for someone to peek in towards A. He's just waiting as long as he can. Karrigan's hiding with the AUG, by the way, which is really cool because he could take a fight towards Cat with the AUG, and he has the scope. But if anybody peeks him close right here while this molly's up, it's a one-tap headshot with the AUG. So that's pretty nice. Same setup as before. Like I said, Frozen's going to be holding for the cross. That is smoke, so that he actually can't get peeked from market window here. And in the meantime, Ultimate's going to get jiggled out, doesn't die. Now we know full info. It's a B split 100%. They already knew that, but now they know for sure. And we just live as long as we can. Ultimate. Hold on. Frozen gets the kill on Kinder. Ultimate, how long are you going to stay here? They need you, bro. They actually need you. Okay, he's finally decided he's coming. Oh, no. He's missed a quick shot, and now Rain finally takes him out. It's over. He had a real chance to take Karrigan down there. He really did, but he didn't. And now Karrigan's going to punish them here as he steps out, finds one, and then he steps out, doesn't actually get the kill on the Naf, but my boy Rain actually will. And there you see, that's it. You just witnessed the biggest comeback that I've ever seen here. I couldn't believe my eyes. I was sitting there watching it at the kitchen table, and I was the entire time. I was like, I can't believe what I'm seeing. Because first of all, Liquid let this happen by not asserting themselves, and FaZe is literally always going to be able to pull those comebacks off because they have the best IGL of all time. Wow. Funnily enough, in case you're wondering, you start the next round, and I've always said this for the longest time, there's an unwritten rule in CS2. When you download the game, everybody just has to follow this rule, and you just do it, which is that if you ever choke overtime, let's say you're up 12-2, and you choke 10 rounds in a row, you will always win the first round in overtime. Always. It doesn't matter what the score is. You choke 12-9, 12-5. You're always going to lose the first round. If you watch and you play, you'll notice that is pretty much how it feels. And what do we get? We get the most dominant round from Team Liquid ever. If you watch the first half, this is basically what it was like the first half. Where was that? Well, I'll tell you what happens. I think that there's a little bit of a phenomenon in Counter-Strike, which is whenever you're making the comeback, you got nothing to lose, so you're excited, your energy's flowing. When you don't want to lose, though, and you're choking the comeback, you're kind of nervous, taking your time, second-guessing yourself. And eventually, once you actually lose or choke the comeback, you're like, oh my god, why was I nervous? I was being stupid. And then the guys that were actually doing the comeback, all the pressures, it's like a big sigh of relief, like, oh man, we finally did it. But then it switches for one round where they're like, we have to get ours, dude. We can't let them do this. And the other team just has that big relief of just like finally securing the comeback. So for one round, it always happens. There it is. So yeah, I mean, Liquid did get 13 first, so I guess that's cool, but a little late. All right, so we got another round here, and now Liquid doesn't care. Now they're going to be assertive. They're going out mid, they're coming up underpass fast. Where was this before? Brokey finds one in Palace, which he hasn't started there yet. Pretty good stuff. Where was this before, though? Like, why didn't we? I would have much rather saw Liquid lose rounds like this instead of losing rounds where they just don't do anything and eventually go down. Now, Frozen, Peeker's advantage on land. Sometimes it's like that. It's just the human factor in things. Karrigan walking up off the back of this, which I watched this round live and I was super excited for this because Karrigan normally doesn't make plays like this where they know that he's in ladder and Karrigan, well, he's just going to double down. Wow. and he looks sharp. He just picks up the AK as well, and he goes for a third. Why not? There you go. 13 secured for FaZe now. Another fantastic setup for the boys. Let's go into round number. Wow, I forgot ultimate dies so fast. Like, where were these brawly rounds in where they only needed one? I just don't get it. I actually don't. Okay, so another round here. Frozen's gonna be on top of the boost, gets a kill. And then the trade comes in. Brokey is going to... Wow, I mean, I honestly can't believe Kinder hit that. But there you go. 4 versus 4. Again, I would like to ask, where were these kinds of rounds earlier if you're a Liquid fan? Why are they not playing the way they want to until they lose their advantage? I don't get it. They get so in their head about losing that eventually they just outplay themselves. Now, we have another round. The regrouping A. And Giga Chad Rain, he steps into Palace and he... Oh, man, I went back. God, that's so annoying. Oh, man. I was one taking this entire demo review. I actually was. I'm just gonna leave this in. Did you notice that, by the way? I one took this entire thing. I was so ready for this review all day. I took notes. I watched it a few times. I was in flow state. Now it's ruined it because I clicked off on the... All right, let's get back to it. So Rain's going to step into Palace here, and it's actually perfect because he has info. Eventually, JKS, if he's here, will have to reveal himself. And Rain, well, he doesn't necessarily have an advantage, but he should get the kill. In the meantime, him being here allows Brokey to play this default position, which allows him to hold for the split, as well as have a really good spot to hold for ramp with the op. As long as they can't come out Palace, they're secured. There's nothing that can really go wrong for him here. And of course, Karrigan's in mid, kind of fast rotate if he's needed. And here we have it. So Rain's just going to chill. JKS is going to get dropped a piece of utility from NAF. And eventually, he's going to step out. Rain gets the kill. Now, off the back of that, Rain is going to get out. Fun thing that happens here is that Brokey actually does a funny thing where his shadow is actually visible here. And that's what Yakinder sees. So even though Brokey's posted and got timing, Yakinder actually is about to see a shadow right here when he's moving. And now he knows Brokey's there. So I actually thought that they were going to maybe lose this because now they know Rain was in Palace, could be on Balk, under Balk, and they know Brokey's default. But I think what happens is, I think they think that that's Rain. I think he genuinely thinks that that's Rain because now they're not worried about Palace at all. And so, because of that, not that Rain knows this, he's going to get on top of the balcony here. And look, wait, that was Brokey? At some point, somebody's going to say, wait, that wasn't Rain. Rain killed me. Karrigan comes through the smoke off the chaos. Rain steps out, does eventually go down. Yakinder did get clued in off of that. And now Karrigan steps through, finds the kill, but it's not over because Yakinder jumps through the smoke and he finds Karrigan. All of a sudden, 4 kills. When did Yakinder get 4 kills? I don't know, but here it is. A 1v1 is all on the line. Who else but Yakinder to be in this position? And Frozen, patiently waiting. He knows the bomb was down far away. Yakinder has to make noise. He just waits patiently and then steps out. Bop, you're done. Wow. Okay, so very dominant stuff for the boys on FaZe, this CT side. They won, what was that? I don't even want to do math, but 14 rounds. 14 rounds and only lost 2 that entire time. That's some legit stuff right there. But it's not over because remember, we only ended up 11-1 in the first place because their T side was super sus. So now we got to see if them doing that insane comeback has put some energy back in them. You know, maybe it's inspired them to be better on T side. Now, I'm not going to lie. Obviously, it did because we know they won. But this time, things look a lot more convincing because in the first half, what was going wrong with FaZe is that they were kind of just getting owned. Because, well, I don't want to say it, but everybody on Liquid was kind of overperforming. They really just were. Okay, so what do we have? Strategically from this round, we have a slow mid default, which is exactly what Liquid was doing, by the way. But in this case, it makes sense because obviously it's kind of switched a little bit. Now Liquid's going to be nervous, so we could play a little slower. By the way, Karrigan's version of playing respectful is still just kind of like fast pace walking. We got mid control. You know, I say this is slow, but not really. Karrigan, CT Molly doesn't tick him. So we're chilling, nothing crazy to go on here. They eventually end up regrouping here. Any second, they're going to go in for this little split. We get a boost up into the window. Karrigan's faking Molly Cat. By the way, small detail again, I say that a lot in these reviews, but he's Mollying Cat because most of the time you do that when you want to go up con. You know, you want to deny that peak, right? Get Rain into ladder. We have somebody in window. It's actually looking pretty good. Looking good so far. Karrigan now is going to go for the patented Karrigan play. You know what? Every once in a while, it's all right for Karrigan to just go for it. It's a 4-on-5. If he dies, maybe he gets one, gets info, can make a mid round. Luckily, Frozen, who was boosted up in the window, is going to find that kill onto the jungle guy. And by the way, because of that, they never spot Karrigan. So this is another instance of Karrigan doing the thing where he just runs around and gets info. And it actually works out perfectly because now he gets the kill on the ramp player who doesn't even expect him. He would never expect that, by the way, because the jungle kill just happened. And before that, they thought that they had Khan. So crazy. Also, Karrigan, aware of Ultimate's position, nades, just lives, calls him back over to A. Look at that! Look at that! He's done it again. This guy, he just somehow pulls off these rounds out of nowhere. He doesn't die. Another dominant round. Another one. No, 5 alive. 5 alive. Not very convincing for the boys on Liquid at all. And a beautiful mid round from Karrigan, by the way. Beautiful. I love that. When it works, it's fantastic. When it works, it is fantastic. Now, another round here. We go into a very standard A execute. By the way, cool little lineup if you want to learn it. But it gets slowed down because Rain gets a kill in mid. Now, this is as classic as it gets for a Mirage round, which is you said one mid. He puts a lot of pressure, and we do an A execute. This guy becomes a lurker. If he gets a kill, which he did, it's pretty good. And it's just strong. It's just strong. So they're going to get forced here. Karrigan is holding the ramp push and just nearly going to miss him, by the way. It's really unfortunate. Karrigan kind of doesn't shoot, goes down. The trade comes in. Oh, man. Yakinder's in a lot of trouble. He gets chased down. It's over. It's over. 4 on 2. There's only one person that can stop him. Oh, man. Twist gets taken down. It's just literally done. And that's it. And that's it. You just watched the most insane comeback of your entire life. And there's nothing left to do but watch Naf die, and there it is. Wow. Wow. So, yeah. If you did enjoy the demo review, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Comment your favorite part of this game. Let's talk about it. I'll be responding in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think. Regardless of Liquid's choke here, I do think this was a good showing for them. I hope that it doesn't hurt them too much. I hope Twist keeps IGLing. Yeah. Not much else to say. Make sure you guys like the video as well. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. Peace.